Hey everyone, it's Nick, and this is your week, I think, 4 video. It is for our week of February 6th through 12th, the final segment of Module 1. So that means, of course, this is a share week, which is probably a fancy way of saying it's your project week. And hopefully you're able to finish up your Wonder by now and get your primary research done. Um, of course, like I know primary research can be tedious. It can take planning. It takes coordinating with other people, and I I really do appreciate you guys going and doing this. I know it might take some time. If you haven't finished it yet, you can do it early in this week. If you wait till next weekend, you're probably not going to get done in time because your project is due next Sunday, which is the 12th, due at midnight. And it is worth 50 points, so it's worth a large amount of points. And if you don't do well, it will be worth enough that your grade is going to really suffer in this course. So make sure you got that done. I'm going to get into the content for the week. It's pretty short on the list right here, but pretty complex once we start clicking in there. But before I get into the work, just a few things of feedback. I've looked at several reflection and questions. They are great. I think you guys really understood the purpose of that assignment, which is to digest the information from up here, connect it to your own life somehow, develop a question or two, develop a plan for answering that question, and to do that. And then, of course, you will share your findings here. I'm very, very curious on how this process goes. And so I'm going to do two things. The first is I'm going to let you finish this week and try to give you lots of support this week and show you some different resources for doing your share project. The second thing I'm going to do, though, is next week I'm going to send out a survey early on. And I just want to see what it was like and what modifications you'd like me to make to the course. Um, I kind of want to know like how many hours you guys were spending on your work. I'd like to kind of compile just some data just to see how module 1 went. So keep that in mind as you work. That maybe just mentally keep track of how much work this class is compared to your other classes. I always try to aim, roughly an online class. I think should take anywhere for 3 credits. I think it should take 3 to 6 hours a week is my hope. If we're over that 6 hour mark, I'm starting to think, oh, that's just too much. Kids aren't actually going to be learning. They're going to be exhausted. So, but if it's only an hour a week at the same time, it's like, man, they're probably not getting as much out. So I really aim for 3 to 6 meaningful hours. That's what I want you to do here. So I'll send out a survey next week. Keep that in mind. Um, Final note before we get started as well is that, and some people have had some late work at this point. Um, at this very point, so Sunday, it's 10:15 p.m. as you can see in my bottom right corner. After tonight at midnight, anything from the module 1 explore week that's not submitted is I won't be able to grade. It'll be a 0. And there's a few students who have not completed both the quiz and the discussion post. So I really do want you guys to stay on top of assignments. I don't think you can learn effectively if you're cramming things in. And so sadly, that's my policy. I hate taking points off for missing work. It is not something I enjoy doing. I'd rather give you the full credit and I'd rather you get it done on time. And then if it's late, I take professionalism points off, as you guys know. And that's minimal. That's such a small thing compared to losing all the credit for an assignment. Um, yeah, I guess I just want you to know, like, I really want you to get your work on time. I can't do it for you. But hopefully the work is that, like I said, that 3 to 6 hours of work a week and it's meaningful. So you're not struggling to work through it. You're kind of viewing it, if anything, as, hey, like I have to listen to a podcast, like I'm trying to make this adaptable to your lives. So I think in the survey I send out, I'm also going to ask for some feedback on that. I know it's kind of a long way of saying please turn your work in on time, but that's my heart, right? I care that kids are learning, and there's a variety of ways of measuring it. And if kids are not completing their work, I get nervous that my assignments aren't meaningful. Like that's just how I am. I go, oh no, so and so didn't do their work for the third week in a row. Either something's going on in their life and I need to check in on them, or my assignments are really lousy and I need to tweak something. That's my pedagogy. So just keep that on your radar. Okay, let's get into it. I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I'm sorry. So we're here. We are February 6th through 12th. We've got our share module. A lot of points going on this week, and the way that you can see your instructions is the project choices plus rubric document. I have that open right here. Oh, my face is in the way. I'm going to move this. So at the end of each module, you'll complete a project to showcase and share what you learned. In general, these are going to be aligned with the work that you proposed and completed during your Wonder Week, and you have complete freedom in how you do this. The idea here is that you've learned something through your interviews, through your conversations, through your reading, and you're going to share it with everybody in a different manner, however you're most comfortable. And I try to give you a variety of options so that you can be comfortable with that option you choose. But if you want to do something that's not on this page, you can do so. I also have a rubric, and we will go over that. This rubric it took a lot of time to make because I really do care about it, and I will grade with it. But let's look at the options. I propose these 6 options: a formal essay, a video speech, a video presentation, an informal essay, an audio speech, and a website. Those are, I think, pretty basic options. And I think, you've probably all done something, at least one or two of these. Everyone's probably done the formal essay. Most people have probably done a presentation as well. Maybe not video recording it, but a presentation. A lot of people have done a speech. But website building and informal essays, those might be a little less common, but we'll go over those today. As you choose your option, keep in mind the requirements. You're sharing the content from the explore phase that stood out to you, okay? Then you're sharing the takeaways from the work you did in the wonder phase. So there's going to be a component that everybody's aware of from the explore, and then a component that's unique to you from the wonder, okay? Then you're going to explain how that information has affected your personal understanding of literacy. This class is literacy class, right? Literature and literacy for children. And then I want you, and this is the really important thing, how is this work going to affect you as a future educator? And if you're not going into teaching, how does it affect you in a capacity of your life? So if you're not going to go into teaching, how could it affect you as a mom or dad? How could it affect you as a daycare provider? How could it affect you as an uncle or an aunt? How could it affect you as someone who loves kids? How could it affect you as a sibling? I know some of us are doing projects regarding our siblings, so that could be a way you approach it as well. Pick a capacity that literacy matters and explain how your learning might affect it. That's the big thing, okay? And then, like I explained, you are going to do that in one of these options. You can pick whichever one you'd like, but it's crucial that you understand the rubric. I'm going to grade all 6 of these, or if you do a different thing yet, that one as well, on this rubric. So take a moment to look through it. Here's what I define as excellent, and I'm going to just go through the excellent category. This is full points. Regarding your content, this is what you say, and it's not how you say it, but this is what you say, this is what you write, it's what you present. You're going to share the takeaways. You're going to include your sources, your primary source and your secondary source, and you're going to explain how you apply it to your discipline. Okay? Takeaways, your research, and your connection to your capacity, such as being a teacher, being a sibling, etc. That's how you get an excellent in content. For delivery, here's how you get an excellent. You share it in a manner that's appropriate for the selected manner. Okay? The selected method, excuse me. So if you're doing a formal essay, you don't have to write as long of a paper, but I expect the grammar to be good. I expect your language to be precise. I don't want run-on sentences. I want it to be formally written, APA formatting, and all that. If you do an informal essay, you don't have to have quite as strict of language, but I am asking that you write more, 1,500 words versus 500. It's a big difference, okay? In a video, that appropriate manner that I'm talking about here will be the way you speak. It'll be the way that you present the information. Are you clear? Are you having a script that you're following? But at the same time, are you not too robotic? My videos that I'm making like right now probably wouldn't be in the excellent category. I'm not trying to be hypocritical, but this is something I do for your guys' benefit, and hopefully these videos are useful. But that's probably more of a great or a good, not an excellent. I ramble sometimes, I get on tangents, sometimes I'm not always making good eye contact with the camera, that kind of stuff. So if you're doing a pure audio speech, really making your voice come through clearly is going to be key. I'll be honest, I don't feel like I can grade that one as harshly. I'm going to border on giving excellent because you guys heard my podcast last week. I am not a great audio only person. And so who am I to be like now the grader of that? So I am, if you do an audio only, I will have some grace with you because that is hard. I think it's way harder than video. Doing audio only requires your voice to fluctuate. It requires emphasis. It requires so much planning. So if you do audio only, boy, go at it, do your best, but that's hard. Finally, to get an excellent in thoroughness, in the written works, I do not want too many grammatical mistakes, even for the informal essay. And then if you're doing a video or a speech of some sort, try to avoid the blunders, right? Try to avoid the mistakes that you make. I don't care if you say uh uh uh. I don't care if you maybe mess up once or twice. But if you just completely go down the wrong path and you need to restart, I'd do a new take. Okay, I'd do a new take at that point. Your written work should be done in APA format. Speeches and presentations should have an APA citation at the end as well. For a speech, I want it in the assignment upload. You do your audio, and then I also want some works cited there. And don't just read from a script, okay? So that's how you get excellent. How you get an okay or needs improvement is having lots of mistakes, lots of grammatical mistakes. You're delivering in a manner that's not appropriate. And the main thing is you're missing your takeaways. You're not connecting it to your life. You're not connecting it to your future. You are just sharing information, and I don't know where you got it from. You don't connect it to the learning. If that's where you're at, if you're on a tangent the whole time, you're probably not going to get full points. So, and you can see how the points decrease. I'm not looking to fail anybody on these assignments. I'm looking to give you points, but this will be the rubric I go off of. Let me give you some resources now. Oh man, I'm probably going way too long on my video again. I'm aiming for like 15 minutes, but we'll see. So I want to give you some resources for each of these. So for the formal essay, Google Doc it. I'm a big fan of Google Docs. You don't have to worry about saving it. You can use Word if you prefer Word, but Google Docs is, in my opinion, just the easiest thing ever. APA formatting is something you might have to look up on the OWL, Purdue OWL, or a Little Seagull Handbook if you've taken my Writing 101 class. APA formatting, I'm not going to be too hard of a stickler for the first module, but by module 5, I'm going to be a real stickler. Okay, so make sure you start working towards that perfect APA formatting. You might be more familiar with MLA. This is education, not writing, not English. And because of that, we're going to be using APA formatting. And a great website would be the Purdue OWL APA, and you can look up the style guide, and that will get you lots of the information on how to do APA. I use this for my master's thesis. I've used this all the time. I do not have APA formatting memorized, never will. I always use a style guide. So, okay, if you're doing an informal essay, you still need APA citations, but rather than writing it in a Google Doc, I recommend WordPress. WordPress is originally a blogging website. Now it's like a website builder, but just use it as a blog. right? I think you could call informal writing is usually in the blog format. So make an account, log in. Um, don't get too caught up in the millions of stylistic decisions. But yeah, make some stylistic decisions. Here's some great options, like look at blog, and then you can see what that looks like, that chapter one. That's really what we're kind of looking for in informal writing. Informal writing does not mean lazy writing. It does not mean goofy writing. It does not mean um, mistake filled writing. It means you have the liberty to use yourself, use more stories, relate things in a more personal way and with a less formal tone of voice. And it's what I do a lot of. I do a lot of informal writing. And yeah, WordPress would probably be your best resource there. If you're going to do a video of any sort, Screencastify is a great resource. It is just a webcam and screen recording function. It's what I'm using right now. It's an extension for Chrome. Really, really easy. You can also use Screencast-O-Matic if you're not a Chrome user. If you're doing audio only, I get Chrome Audio Capture. Okay, you can see it in my top right. It is also an extension. I just click this button and it starts recording me. I bet there's better things out there. I know Audacity is a really popular platform too. Um, this is something that you might want to look into. Audacity is a really popular audio format. And then if you're going to do any sort of like presentation or video editing, Canva. I love Canva. I use Canva all the time for my Buccaneer Day marketing, for recruiting, all that stuff. Canva can even do presentations. You can do videos on it. You can even do websites on it. So feel free to check out Canva if you need a video editing platform. And then finally for the website, I'm a big Wix fan. I think Wix is the easiest way to build a website by far. So Wix would be my recommendation for the website option. I think I went through all of them in some form or another. So hopefully this gives you kind of some ideas to think about resources, and you can pick one you're familiar with. If you need help with resources, let me know. I'm decent at everything but audio. I'm decent at the screencasting. I'm decent at WordPress. Very familiar with Google Doc, obviously. But just let me know if I can help you with that, okay? This is getting to be a long video, so I'm going to cut it here. Make sure you just watch out for my survey that's coming at the end of this week. I do want to know, how did this go? Did this process go well? Was it uncomfortable? Was it super hard? Was it super easy? I really don't know. And as you read in What I Wonder, I'm trying a new framework for education. And I just want your feedback. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. And as always, let me know if you need anything. It is always my pleasure to help. And I'll get to grading your question and reflections this week. So you should have grades updated soon. All right. See you guys.